Hello all, and welcome to the next video here in the Onion Man's Rooftop 2 at a Cal Caravan of Treasure, and sometimes Bard of the Street continues, as it always will. Apologies if I sound a little rough. I'm either getting sick or was like low-key sick and now getting over it. I can't tell. But yeah, my it's been hurting, and I've been pretty good throughout the day, but at night, and my voice starts getting kind of shot, and I don't know why. But yeah, anyway. Long time no see. We are back with the game show. What kind of show? A game show. Why? Because I couldn't think of a better name. So, yay. This is going to be just one big video of some recent retro games I've got. And a new one, actually. So, yeah, cool. Sorry. I'm just trying to keep my voice okay here. So, yeah. This is a fun little game that we'll take a look at. This came in the mail. These two bags are both from a game store in Albuquerque, and hopefully in a minute I can see one of the tags here and tell you what store that was. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. But I went because I kind of circled around. And ended up making a couple of different trips to Albuquerque. And so, yeah, this one's the first trip. And I'm actually going to save this one because in this bag is a literal Holy Grail video game item for me. And for the price and the fact that I'd never seen it in person, it was an insta-buy for me. I was in the moment. I had the money to get it, and because I had a little nest egg that it was for games specifically, not just toys. I tried to separate the two, and I was like, all right, it looks like the game budget for this month is going to be on this. And then a couple weeks later, I went back and I picked up these. So, but anyways, we'll start with the mail thing first. Try not to let that fall. So yeah. This is actually a pretty fun little thing. It's a limited run game. I got High on Life. Yeah, so excited to play this. I've heard mixed things. I've heard people really like this, like the kind of story and the comedy and everything, but that, the gameplay kind of leaves a lot to be desired. We'll find out. I missed out on a limited run game I wanted to get. I missed out on the Clock Tower remaster or whatever. I was going to get it for the Switch and I missed it. I don't know how either. I kept reminding myself, hey, order it, and I just didn't, and I don't know why. I also missed out on another one recently. I wanted to get Pentiment, and I missed out on that one too, man. I don't know what it was. I guess it's just because of all the traveling I was doing. I just missed out, man. And so I'm going to try to get those. I'm going to have to wait till they come out on the secondary market, and they're probably going to be pricey as shit. But I do want to get those two. So, yeah, we got High on Life. I'm going to put it over here on the side. All right. So this is from the same store as this bag, but this was the second trip. So I'm doing them backwards. Second trip, first trip. Because first trip had the Grail item. And because of that, I went back and I found some more good stuff that wasn't there a couple of weeks prior. They apparently get shipments and sales and people coming in to sell games to them on a pretty regular basis. The guy says they have a really solid rotation every few weeks. They get almost like a whole new set of stuff, and that's really cool to me. So that's definitely a place I'm going to have to go back to at some point. So, yay. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing right here on top, funny enough, whoa, there goes my voice, like I said. I thought I had this game, and I didn't. And I see it all the time, and it's not an expensive game. But I thought I had it already, because I have a pretty large N64 collection as is. So I thought I had Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and I did not. I don't have any of the Turok games, so I need the second one too. And is Turok 3, was that the N64? Was that GameCube? Hey. Anyway, it's only $15. That was fair. And it's in really good shape. The pins are clean. No writing or anything on it. Sticker's good. So the place is called Gamers Anonymous in Albuquerque. So check them out. They were awesome. Um, Man, the game store I go to in Dallas, or in the Dallas area, whatever it is, it's in one of the offshoot little small towns. Um, is awesome that I go to every year when when I go to see my brother and visit him. I love that store. This like gives it competition. Um, because I've found Grail items in both stores now. So this instantly is up there. Plus, this second trip, the games here are like games I didn't have. That a couple of them I thought I did and I didn't, like Turok. So, yeah. So there's Turok. The first thing in here, not a game, but I picked up a new battery for my PSP. Um, my battery in the PSP got fat. It did that little thing where like they expand and they get old. It did that, so I needed to get a new one. So got one. They sell them there, so that was cool about it. That was the one they recommended. They had a couple different brands, and they said that was the more popular one. So I'm gonna trust them. Okay, first game, we have a PS3 game. I picked up a copy of WWE 2K14. I've never played WWE 2K14, so I didn't get back into WWE games until recently. I remember playing 2K17, and then I don't think I played another one until was it last year or the year before that had Rey Mysterio on the cover? Whatever one that one was, and now I'm playing the new one, 2K24. So, but I've never played 2K14. I stopped. That's where I was going with this. I stopped at 13 with the Attitude Era theme. I stopped there, but I heard really good things about this one. A lot of people apparently really like 14, so I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see. Okay, we got. Oh yes, okay. I got me a copy of Red Dead Revolver. Pretty awesome. I did not have Red Dead Revolver. I have the first Red Dead game. I just didn't have Red Dead Revolver, I believe. So, yeah. Played it way back when. Rented it a bunch from Blockbuster, but never owned it. So, good to have. And it's complete. I'm not showing my games off. I'm sorry. So, there's 2K14. This has a reverse Daniel Bryan cover on it. It's pretty cool. I vaguely remember that, like being a thing when they announced it. Here's Red Dead Revolver. So this didn't have a price tag. Did this one? Yeah, so I paid $15 for this one too. Okay. Anyway, this one didn't have a price tag, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cool story. So there's a few games in here that they were just on a shelf. They hadn't been processed yet into their system, and so they let me kind of haggle for them. So that's why there's no price tag. I totally forgot. Because I ended up saying if they gave me these two games, I would I think I did 2 for 20, so $10 a piece. But yeah, Red Dead Revolver was one of them. Disc is in great shape. Because of course I checked it while I was there, like a weirdo. Got a few scratches. Very, very minor, but the game is in great shape. I booted it up to make sure it runs. If you're new to my channel, the reason why a game show, like the packages are open or whatever, is because I test the games before I put them up here. That way I can tell you, oh, something was wrong. I did that with the PSP game in one of the last videos I did for a game show. And I tested it out and it was busted, and that sucked. So that's why I do that. And then the other PS2 game, the one that I told y'all they gave me 2 for 10, or 2 for 20, Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. Played the hell out of this. I had this game at one point, and I think I just sold it or something when I was kind of done with the PS2 at the time. So, yeah. If you're a fan of Fire Pro Wrestling, the old Japanese-style wrestling games, get this. It's fantastic. It's one of the best wrestling games ever made, and nobody even knows about it. I mean, wrestling fans that are also gamers probably definitely know about this. It's a popular game amongst wrestling fans, but like the wider audience needs to know the greatness of Fire Pro Wrestling. Get this disc out. And this one's super clean. Ain't nothing on that. That's amazing. Yeah, had fun playing with this. You can make so many different wrestlers in this because it just like arbitrarily uses their little pictures and gimmicks. It's pretty funny. So that was it on that. And then I got 2 case games, meaning they were in a case. Like I had to ask to get them out. The first one is I finally got a copy of Twisted Metal 2. Yeah. So Twisted Metal 2, I paid no price tag on this, but I'm pretty sure I paid 30 or 35 for this because they had like sticky notes on them. But finally got one. Nice. Boom. I love that disc. One of the all-time great PS1 discs. I had all the Twisted Metal games, and again, just being a kid, got rid of them to get new stuff. The disc on this was pretty solid. It played pretty fine. There's a few little minor scratches in the middle ring, but nothing too crazy. And it booted up perfectly fine, so I'm good. Played a couple of games. I sucked horribly. I haven't played Twisted Metal in years, and it was just horrible. And last thing. Okay, this is a fun one. I paid $25 for this one, I think. I got a Sega Genesis copy of the X-Men game. Notoriously one of the hardest games on the Sega Genesis. But I was able to pick it up, so yay. No poster inside. It says free poster. Sticker's pretty good. Little faded, but not too bad. And it comes with the case. No manual or anything. Never played this, but anybody who knows me knows the Genesis is one of my favorite consoles of all time. So I've been collecting for it pretty regularly since I got one. Yeah. So here's the bag. Now, I'm going to go through the bag, and then I kind of got another surprise because it was something that randomly came up, and I might have to go grab them. They're in a separate room, but thankfully the door's open. So we are going to go through the first bag that I got there, like prior to this one. But there's something else that I'm going to go get real quick that's going to be a surprise, so apologies while I go get it. Okay, so seeing the X-Men Genesis game just reminded that I had these in another room because I was going to go through them before I threw them up here. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. This might make it a little bit of a longer video, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that after this bag, though. Sorry. So, yay. So this was my first stop at Gamers Anonymous in Albuquerque. Again, go check them out. That's where I got all this fantastic stuff. So on my first trip, I had to put some games back because of what I ended up buying. But I got a copy of Area 51 for the PS1. Love that. Had this as a kid as well. It was a light gun game. You could play it, or you could use a controller, which was not fun at all. But yeah. And I did pay $17.95 for this. I paid $18. Funny, there's an old tag on it too. Pretty cool though. I love Area 51. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely probably my favorite arcade cabinet of all time. And disc was pretty good. A little bit of minor scratching over here on the side, but nothing crazy. It lit up. I don't have a light gun to test that feature out, but it did boot up, and I was using a controller, and it was horrible. Don't ever try to use a controller on a light gun game, especially for the PS1 or something. The next game in here was one that I never played on the PS2, but I did play the remaster on the PS3 when it came out, the HD remaster or whatever, and when HD was the big deal. I picked up a copy of Ico. I love Ico. I have not played Ico on the PS2, so it was kind of fun to mess around with this. I didn't play it too much. Again, I usually just test the games out. And then I have 2 separate shelves. Like I have a shelf of games I haven't played and the shelf of the games of all the games I've ever played that I'm done with. And so, yeah, it's going to be on that shelf, but oh well. What'd I pay for this? Paid $25 for it. Better be worth it. I'm sure it is. I've played The Last Guardian, And I liked it. I know there's some people who don't like that game, but I always have. And of course, one of my all-time favorite games is Shadow of the Colossus. It's a masterpiece of a game. One of the first times I ever said, I believed that video games could be art was that game. So glad to have Eco. Definitely down to play that. Also, funny enough, Eco is a disc. It's a CD, not a Blu-ray. So if your PS2 cannot read CDs or PS1 games, it's not going to be able to read this either. Mine does, though. I replaced the laser when I got it. Yeah, I think I did, right? I replaced the laser, and I did something else with it, too. It's a slim model. I still have my fat PS2, but I just don't mess with it anywhere near as much anymore because it doesn't play older games like Eco or Tekken Tag Tournament. That's another one that's like that. So, and here we go. The moment for at least these things that everybody's been waiting for. A Holy Grail game. And yes, the price that is on it is the price that I paid. I'm going to be honest. But looking online, like if you take shipping into account, I feel like it was worth it. Plus, like I said, I'd never seen it in the wild. And I really wanted to get it, so I did. Just like opening it up a bit. But I was just like making sure everything was in check. A physical copy, long box style. There's a reference. Of Kingsfield for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, and that was the price. And I did pay it. I was hesitant, but this is one of my Holy Grail games. I've never played Kingsfield, and I know that this is not technically Kingsfield 1. This is the first American Kingsfield, so it's technically Kingsfield 2 in Japan, I believe. But regardless, it's the first one here. I cannot wait to play it. I'm ready to see like all the old school From Software references. Yeah, so pretty fun. Excited for that. The only time I think I ever played Kingsfield was I played, and I really didn't know what I was doing either because I was kind of new to Dark Souls, so I just went back and tested it. But I played it on a not a Wayback Machine, but one of those retrocade sites on a PC that like emulates. Yeah. And it was fun, but like I want to play it on the PS1. I want to play this, like, yeah. So I like it. But yeah, it's the long box, so it opens up. Finally take that tag off. And then you have your whole long manual, and you got your Kingsfield disc. Man, and it's really nice. Because you better believe I did check this before I left. Boom. It's got a little bit of scratching over here on the outside of the ring, but it was like nothing too major. And like I said, I already booted it up and it worked and everything. So yeah, super excited. Got another Grow game out of the way, so very happy for that. Yeah, so yay. So I wanted to end the video there because I was like, okay, like ended on the high note with the Kingsfield, reveal. Being such a big Dark Souls fan and Bloodborne, Elden Ring, the whole Soulsborne genre. But then, a couple days ago, a guy contacted me online, and he's a garage sale guy like I am. Like, he'll go around looking for old games and old movies and stuff. And he didn't message me. I saw him post that at one of the garage sales, he found a basket of video games, like two little plastic baskets full of video games, and there was like some random sport games, like some PS2 sports games, a couple of like Xbox Madden games, like the usual. But then in the second box, it was all retro stuff, and none of it was really anything I wanted. Like it was some pretty common stuff, like what's it called? Oh man, I'm blanking on like that game that I see all the damn time for the Super Nintendo. One of like those quarterback club games or something like that, man. I always see it everywhere for the SNES. But anyway, he just reached out. He was like, "Hey man, I know you," or like I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey man, like I know we've met and we've done some business before. I'm interested in that second basket. I don't really want the Super Nintendo stuff because none of it was really meaningful to me, but I want all the Genesis stuff." And we made a deal, and I paid $60. Or I'm sorry, $80 for the whole basket. And yeah, let's go through it real quick. Like I said, I wasn't planning to film this with these, but just because like that happened so quick a couple days ago, like yeah. Um, and I bought this for a few different reasons because there's one game in here that already makes up for everything, like price wise. So it's this giant box of stuff, and or not giant, but like little basket of stuff, and there's some out of case games. There's an old copy of Monopoly for the Genesis. It's pretty beat. I already have a box copy of Monopoly for the Genesis, so probably won't keep that. Um, we have Batman Forever. Kind of a low-key underrated game in my opinion, but also one I already have, so don't need that one. These are just cannon fodder, those two. But this one, out of box, caught my attention. And then, like, seeing it in person, the pictures didn't look as bad. But seeing it in person, I'm like, man, I should have looked harder at those pictures. It's Super WrestleMania for the Genesis. I have Super WrestleMania for the Super Nintendo. But man, this game is beat. Like in the pictures, it just like it was kind of like that, but I didn't see this part, and I thought I could get this off, but like it's so beat, I don't think it's going to be worth trying to peel that off. But it's not again, not one I'm going to keep. Now that being said, there is a couple of games in here that I am going to keep that are out of box. Now, I've said in the past for the Genesis, I'm a box collector. I like having the boxes. Thankfully, I've already ordered a box for one of them. Somebody just was selling the case on its own, and it's not a repo case; it's an original case. So I paid a little money for that. I ended up paying like $25 just for that case, but it's going to be worth it because one of the games that was in here, and of all the unboxed games, I recognized it immediately because I don't have this, but it's on my list. Exile for the Sega Genesis. This is a pretty rare game. I think in box it fetches like, I don't know about this condition because the sticker does have a little bit of wear. I'd say probably at least like what, 40-ish, 45, maybe more with the box once I get the box and put them together. So yeah, it's got a little sticker on the back, but nothing too bad. That probably can come off pretty easy. I do want to play it though. I'm gonna definitely play this game. So I'm keeping this one because this was on my list, and considering the whole bundle's price, totally worth it. Even if I got to pay a little extra to get a separate box. I feel like I'm paying $20 for the game in the box, which is amazing for that. And then I am also going to keep Miniser. This is a fun little light gun game for the Genesis, kind of like the light gun game that we saw earlier with Area 51 for the PS1. Miniser for the Sega Genesis. It's a 6-game cartridge, but yeah, it's just got different light gun games. It's in solid shape. I don't know if there's a case for Miniser. If there is, I need to get one because I don't want that to be like the one game that's not in a case in my collection. That'd feel weird. And then we got the box games. Now, some of these are not too special. I'll start with those. The first one, we got Tasmania. There's some initialing on it on the cover. Probably won't keep this game. It's cool and all, but like not a game that was ever on my list or that I wanted to add to my collection. So this is actually a box game I'll be getting rid of. Not worth much. The next one, same situation. Cutthroat Island. Looks like it was part of the same collection. It says Boys and Girls. I'm going to guess these... Man, I wonder if these came from the old Boys and Girls Club. Damn. That brought back memories. But I don't ever remember seeing the Sega Genesis there. Then again, a Sega Genesis would have been a little bit before my time, I think. Because I remember there being like one rinky-dinky PS1 that was there for a while. And then later on they had a GameCube. And I wish I had taken that when I left. I should have stole it. No, I don't promote stealing. Boys and Girls Club, Cutthroat Island, I guess. Yeah, just not a game that. And they look fine. Again, sorry as I didn't open them. This one's got a little bit of sticker peeling on it too. It does have the manual, but just again, not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get me that Cutthroat Island. And then Tasmania is actually in pretty solid shape, except for a little bit of tearing there. But the pins on it are actually really clean. A little dusty. So there's those. And then another one, again, not really worth much, but one I actually will keep just because every once in a while you don't know when you got the urge to play a little bit of Pitfall. This is Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. This is kind of when they were trying to revamp Pitfall, and there was like all these sequels, and this is like the first guy's son or whatever. Anyway, yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna keep it. You know, you never know when you want to play a random game of Pitfall. And it's actually one of the ones in better condition. The manual actually looks really solid, and so does the cart. Like, there's no sticker peel. It doesn't look like it's faded or anything. Clean pins. Like, really nice. So we're keeping that one. The next one, I never heard of this game, but it looks dope, so I'm going to keep it and I'm going to play it. But this is called Aeroflash. Yay, I guess. Is this the same? Hold on here. It is. Renovation Products. Yeah, same company did Exile. So Aeroflash, I just barely noticed that. It looks like some kind of mech side-scroll shooter. Or something. I don't know. It looks awesome, though. Definitely going to play it. Definitely keeping it, too, if it's great. But yeah. Also the manual. Also really nice clean cart. So, yeah, if you know anything about this game, let me know. Definitely interested. That's the thing. I don't even know a price point on this game. I don't know if it's rare, if it's common. But it looks really cool and I want to play it. So, the next game we got, same thing. A game I'm not familiar with. It wasn't on my Genesis radar of games I was looking for, but it looks really cool, and I'm going to play it for sure. This is called BattleTech, a game of armored combat. 16 megs of power. Oh, my God. The insanity. Extreme. 2-player mode. Yay. But it's got this cool-looking Ed 209 mech on it. A RoboCop reference for you. And yeah, it looks like it's a little isometric mech game. Like, that sounds dope. It's in good shape. No manual. A little bit of a fold on the sticker, but it's still intact and tight. Almost like it just kind of maybe got pushed a little. But yeah, good shape, clean pins. Yeah, you know anything about this game too? Let me know. Always down to learn about the ones I don't know. So, this one I do know. I know this is a pretty common game. I don't think it's really worth much or anything. But I've never played it, and I want to because it looks pretty fun. And this is called Fire Shark. I don't know. There's just something cool about this, Indiana Jones ass fake art, poster movie, movie poster artwork. But it looks fun. It's some kind of little, I don't know. Kind of looks like some kind of shooter, right? I'm gonna guess. The bases people home the Fire Shark. Air-to-ground missiles, rapid-fire machine guns, falling bombs. So it's a shooter. Is this a light gun game? No. I know nothing about Fire Shark, but it looked cool and it looked fun, so I'm going to keep it and play it. If it ends up sucking, I'll probably get rid of it. But if you know anything about... so basically, the main 3 games I know nothing about out of that are Aeroflash, which looks really awesome. BattleTech, which also looks awesome. And Fire Shark, which looks interesting, but if it ends up not being good, this is one I could probably live without. So if you know anything about those 3 games, let me know. It'd be nice. So these were the 2 that I saw that I wanted the most. And the reason why I reached out, or I reached out when I saw his post, and I was like, hey man, I'm interested. Because originally I was only going to try to get these two from him. And then he was like, oh, let's just do the whole deal then. Let's do the whole thing. And we did. So, the first one, I'm just going to kind of get out of the way because I've been looking for this game. It's been on my Genesis list. I've wanted it for a while now. I'm a big fan. I used to have it. So I finally got another copy of ToeJam and Earl. Love ToeJam and Earl. Now I need the sequel, Panic on Funkatron. But yeah, totally down for this. This is kind of like, what's a good way to describe ToeJam and Earl? You just know those weird ass games that were like isometric little controlled perspective games, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's like in this. This feels like it's in that category. Like what? Like what and why? But ToeJam and Earl, excited to have it. Love ToeJam and Earl. Though, like we could use some ToeJam and Earl classic toys. Like everybody's getting toys now. Why not ToeJam and Earl? They're fixing to do Earthworm Jim, Premium DNA. Anyways, last game. This is the one I saw that I was kind of like, oh, I should get that because I recognized it. I know it's a rare game, and it looks like it's in solid shape, and it has the manual. The manual's beat to hell, but it looked good. So this was in there. Aerobiz. It's a plane company sim game. Like you're trying to expand this airport business. But anyway, I only know about this game because I've seen it in other videos where people say this is a rare game. And I was looking up like what it sells for, and it goes for, sometimes well over $100, sometimes just below. So this game right here paid for everything, which is awesome. But like I said, the manual's there. It's just really beat. But the cart is immaculate. Clean pins, clean sticker, everything. It's just got a little bit of a bum manual. But it's got everything else, man. So, a little bit of tearing on the outside here, but that's it. So, I honestly still don't know if I'm going to keep this or get rid of it. While I'm, like, I don't think I would ever play this seriously. And for that reason, I feel like I could get rid of it and just, like, use the money to get some games I wanted or something. Or do I just keep it for the novelty? Like, it's rare, and it's cool to see, and I found it in the wild, and do I just keep it, I don't know. But something to dwell on. But that's it, man. That's a lot of stuff. We got all kinds of stuff. Look at that. All these Genesis games. Kingsfield over there. Got my ToeJam and Earl. Some Twisted Metal. All kinds of great stuff, man. But that's it for the video. I just wanted to add these in because it just felt right to throw it all in one because these were all two separate trips, but same place. Why not just throw it in? Call it good. Video's a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but we're all good. And that's it for the video, though. If you like the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I always appreciate anybody who does. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video.